www.ancestry.com allows the owner of a tree to invite folks in to view his family tree. This is what you will receive. Every tree contains secrets, stories, and more. As you can see, all you have to do is press the little blue button down here, and the next thing you will see is a bunch of photos of the tree. Once you have touched the blue button, you are now in the tree and free to roam around and explore. Here is the Juge family tree. You can see the parents and Dick and Nancy and the kids. All the photos represent the different individual profiles, and you can look into them to see the history on those individuals. Now you look into the profiles, and what do you see? Here's Dick Juge, and you're going into him, and you're going to see all about him. Once you get in that profile, there you go, there's his history. On the far right side is a slider bar. You can slide up and down and see all the various histories of him. And now you're going to go into his spouse. Now we're going to go look at Nancy's. You know, if you were to slide this slider bar way up and down, you would see all about Nancy's history. In the following screens, we're going to look in depth at a profile on my mother and my father. All right, we're going to open the profile and start the slider bar going down and reading some of his history. As you can see, I drew it chronologically by years. Those pictures you saw sliding by were things in Ancestry puts in there to give you a more reference of time and dates. So this is my father and his siblings when they were young. And there he is at 14 and 20. And now he's getting into the 20s and 30s. He'll be getting married pretty soon. And then once they do, they'll go on a honeymoon. And there they are on their honeymoon. And there's all kind of history here that you can read on all these different myriads of folks that we have profiled. This is my dad when in the 40s and then in the 50s, and he died in 1952. So these are pretty much the last photos I have of him. And it goes on to do a little bit about his obit and his death certificate. That's his death certificate. And there's his obituary. And then this is his tombstone, what it looks like and how it reads. And that's true of all these various folks we got. I've done research. Some of them I've been able to find more information than on others. Now we look at my mother, and we'll take a peek there and see what her profile looks like. She was a twin, and she had lost two sisters over her lifetime, a twin sister and another baby who was 10 years old at the time. And this is when they were on their honeymoon and living up in Michigan. This is when she had a baby with Peter and then myself. Now this is a family at Galena Park in Houston. Dad worked for an oil refinery. And these are just some more pictures and my mother's stuff and her obituary and the location of the family tombs in Medicine. This last section takes you to our great grandparents and grandparents. Here you can see we're looking at children, and now we're going over to grandparents, the Juges, and there he is, and his father, Grandpa Juge's father, and then his father's father, and his father's wife, Adu. As you can see, there are just tons and tons of people. If you open these profiles, you'd be surprised what information you can find. Here, we're just digging around looking at the different family members. Actually, my mother's family side, and then as you can see, Nancy's family side is right there. It's incredible the amount of history you can dig up. In doing these researches, it was really interesting. I found folks that had lived under 4 different flags in Louisiana. The very first one was, of course, the French flag, then the Spanish flag, and then the French flag again, and then the United States flag. Oh, it was really interesting. Here we're looking at, I guess, my grandmother's mother or something like that at this moment. And as you can notice, you can see a vertical or a horizontal tree approach. Now that's on the left-hand side over there, where you can pick the way you want it to be displayed. Actually, my mother's side goes back to the founding families of the United States. She had an aunt that was the first lady in Boston who had written all kind of poems. Really interesting. It's quite a history, a way to see the family in this tree. It's a legacy that I'm giving to all my kids so that they now know who their family tree is. Well, this is the end of this brief review of your invite to the family tree. One can explore over hundreds of relatives. There is a section where you can search for family members if you wish. I spent over 2 years on this.